We're dead.
I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise.
What the hell's it doing? Oh my god, it just made a noise! No!
Today's Bigfoot Encounters feature some of the clearest evidence yet from a footprint researchers couldn't explain to striking trail camera photos. Could this finally be the proof people have been searching for? Dee is the creator of the YouTube channel Dee's Dark Adventures, where she explores forests and examines strange incidents captured on camera. Her curiosity frequently leads her into places most people would avoid, especially when unexplained events remain unsolved. This investigation takes place in Dee's home state of Ohio. A local farmer invited her to explore his property after experiencing unusual activity for nearly 3 years. According to him, he had heard strange noises, noticed movement inside his cornfield, watched his dog growl at things he could not see, and even observed a large figure standing outside his window. Other farmers dismissed his claims and believed he was imagining the events. After discovering Dee's videos online, however, he reached out and asked for her help. He wanted someone to enter the field, investigate the area, and possibly determine what had been happening around his home. The farmer explained that the strange incidents always occurred at night. He had seen shadows moving between the rows of corn and heard sounds he could not identify. The most disturbing experience was seeing what looked like a human-shaped figure near his house. After that, he became convinced something unusual was present on his property.
Hi, you guys. Okay. I gave you guys a post talking about how this farmer plants corn every other year to give the thing a break, and every time that happens, he hears these strange animal but not animal noises, and he says he sees a lot of things darting in and out, shadow figures, all that stuff. And he also said that lately his house is over. The house is right over there. Things are coming from the cornfield over to his house and starting some ruckus. So he's wanting to know what it is, and just stop planting corn, because the corn's the only thing that brings him. He does beans every other year. So let's get into it here, y'all, okay?
Dee starts the investigation by sharing the farmer's story with her audience. She then enters the large dark cornfield, carrying only a flashlight to illuminate the narrow path ahead.
What was that? I heard something.
Less than 5 minutes into the investigation, a loud noise suddenly breaks the silence. Dee stops and scans the area with her flashlight, but nothing is visible. Hoping to locate the source, she continues walking toward the sound. Then it happens again. This time, the noise seems louder and much closer.
What am I hearing? Listen. I don't know if it's a whispering. Dude, what the fuck? No, dude. Told me this shit happened. What the fuck?
As the sound appears to shift toward another section of the field, Dee notices the cornstalk shaking violently. The movement makes it seem as though something has been hiding nearby, watching her from within the rows. She immediately steps back in surprise. After a brief pause, however, she carefully approaches the place where the movement occurred.
Noises, voices. Ah! I thought I heard him. It was right in there somewhere. Hello? I hate cornfields, dude. I hate them. Let me get my ghost box out. Maybe he can explain what's happening. You guys keep watching that area.
The strange noises continue and become even more unsettling, but Dee keeps moving through the field. Then her flashlight reveals something standing ahead.
What the hell is that? What the hell is it doing? Nope, I'm done. Oh my god, it just made a noise. No. Dude, screw this shit. I'm done. I've had it. I don't care if it's a short video. My light won't work.
A dark figure stands silently among the corn. It appears to be watching her. Dee immediately backs away in shock. She has no idea what the figure is or whether it poses any danger.
We're wind, dude. What the fuck's happening? It's getting closer to me. Oh my god! Okay, I'm done, dude. Screw this shit. Sitting here for 25 minutes, nothing's going on, dude. I hear movement walking all the way through here, but it sounds real far off. I can't.
Fear quickly takes over, and Dee begins trying to escape. As she moves through the field, she becomes convinced the figure can travel extremely fast, faster than she believes she can cross the uneven ground.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I'm gonna die. That's what that noise was. Oh my god. And it's gone. Where did it go? Oh my god, dude, I can't. It's gone. I gotta go through there. I gotta cut through the house. Cut through there to get to the house.
Later, Dee spots the figure again. This time it appears behind the corn and seems to be staring directly at her. She notices it before entering the same area, but before she can understand what is happening, the figure disappears from sight. The situation becomes even more frightening.
Come on.
Because Dee realizes the only route back to safety requires her to pass through the same part of the field where she last saw the figure. She gathers her courage and runs through the corn, hoping to reach the farmer's house without encountering it again.
Nope. Oh god. Okay. Did you hear that? Okay. How to get over here?
Eventually, Dee returns to the house safely. The mysterious figure is no longer visible. Still shaken by the experience, she tells the farmer what happened and shows him the footage she recorded inside the field. Even after reviewing the video together, they still have no clear explanation. The dark figure appeared to move in and out between the rows, making the encounter even more difficult to understand. Tall corn can block nearly everything only a few rows away, and hidden sounds are often difficult to locate. That can make ordinary movement seem much closer or stranger than it really is, but it still does not explain exactly what Dee captured that night. To this day, Dee and the farmer still don't know what was moving through the cornfield. Was it a person using the rows to remain hidden, or was something else following her through the darkness? On January 24, 2024, Scott Carpenter uploaded a video documenting his exploration of a remote forest while searching for possible evidence of Bigfoot. The backpacking trip continues his earlier investigations, with Scott looking for altered stick structures, unusual sounds, footprints, and brief sightings. The investigation begins as Scott returns to a stick structure he built during a previous visit. He believed it could serve as a territorial marker. The arrangement included a balanced stick, a small wooden pyramid, and several carefully positioned pieces. When Scott arrives, he discovers the structure has been disturbed. The balanced stick is gone, snapped in half, and lying nearby.
And the balance stick has been pulled out. It's laying on the ground and it's been snapped in two. I don't know where the other half is. There's the lower half.
The discovery leaves him uneasy because he believes the damage may have been deliberate. He explains that similar structures have been moved or destroyed during previous investigations. After examining the broken stick, Scott argues that the wind could not have caused the damage. He wonders whether it was intended as a message or a territorial warning. He also considers whether these structures might mark trails groups or boundaries, because he has seen sticks arranged and altered in similar ways before he believes something may be acting with purpose. As Scott travels deeper into the forest, he begins to feel as though he is being watched from several directions. Branches snap nearby and faint rustling comes from the dense vegetation around him. The sounds increase the tension because he cannot see what is producing them.
If I get lucky, I'm going to have a sighting today, get eaten by a bear, attacked by a bear, or end up disappearing. Because they are loud. I'm sure the camera's not picking any of this crap up.
Scott frequently stops to listen and scan the area. He wonders whether the noises are meant to frighten him or distract him from something else. Then he notices a dark figure moving quickly between the trees. The sighting lasts only a moment, but Scott describes the figure as large, dark, and incredibly fast. He climbs to higher ground, hoping to get a better view. When he reaches the area, however, he finds no clear evidence that anything had been there. The sighting strengthens his belief that something difficult to track may be watching him.
I saw a movement. Something darted behind this tree or darted in this area. Scared the crap out of me. Black. Large. Looked like I saw his trailing arm. See? Or his butt. Of course, there won't be anything here. No sign. No footprints.
Later, Scott discovers what appears to be a large footprint pressed into the soft ground. He compares it with his boot and estimates that it measures around 16 or 17 inches long, much larger than a typical human footprint.
Alright, it's possible footfall right there. See that? See, look, this is just barely, you can just barely tell it. There it is. Okay, there we go. I'm not a total buffoon. There's a footprint right here. Alright. Right up here are the toes. Right there's the heel mark. That's a big old boy too. Shit. My boot's 13 inches long. That's a good 3 inches longer than my boot. So that's a 16, 17 inch track.
Scott points out what appear to be toe marks and a deep heel impression. He believes the size and depth suggest an extremely large creature. Excited by the discovery, he compares the print with tracks linked to other reported Bigfoot encounters. Scott also wonders whether the creature could be making sounds, or briefly revealing itself to influence where he looks. If so, something else might be moving through the forest unnoticed. Even so, the investigation remains frustrating. Scott hears unexplained noises and catches only brief glimpses, but he's unable to record convincing evidence. Near the end of the trip, he notices additional signs of movement, including displaced leaves and faint impressions in the soil. The investigation leaves Scott both excited and frustrated. The damaged structure, strange sounds, dark figure, and large footprint all seem connected, yet none provides a definite answer. Were they simply unrelated clues in the forest? Or was something remaining hidden while Scott followed his trail? Another unusually clear set of images has drawn attention because it appears to show the face of a Bigfoot-like creature at close range. The case includes 2 photographs taken only moments apart. The first shows the figure farther away, partially hidden behind brush. The second captures it closer with fewer branches blocking the view. Both images are believed to have come from a trail camera placed in the woods. In the photos, the creature has a face that many viewers compare to a Sasquatch. The second image may have been digitally enlarged, making the features easier to examine. One detail, however, has raised questions. A strange line appears across the upper lip, giving the mouth an unusual and possibly unnatural look. The images were reportedly taken in Washington state, according to a Facebook user known as the Bigfoot Expert. No exact location was provided, leaving the camera's position unknown. Some viewers believe the mouth appears unusual because of the camera angle, or a physical deformity. Others argue that the feature makes the image seem suspicious. Aside from that detail, the face, hair, and overall appearance look remarkably realistic. The figure also appears to be staring directly into the camera with an angry expression, as though it had noticed the hidden device. Washington state has long been associated with reported Bigfoot sightings, making the case even more intriguing. Even so, a clear image is not the same as clear evidence. Could the unusual mouth be completely natural, or does it suggest the photographs are not what they appear to be? A Bigfoot research team may have discovered one of the most convincing footprints found in recent years, but the case received little attention. Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Search, also called PNW Bigfoot, reported the discovery after 5 years of research and repeated expeditions into areas linked to Sasquatch activity. On April 26, 2025, the team was conducting fieldwork along the Little White Salmon River in Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. Near the riverbank, they found what they believed was a genuine Sasquatch footprint. Fresh elk signs nearby suggested the creature may have been tracking or hunting an elk. The researchers made a cast and measured the footprint at 13.5 inches long and 7 inches wide. Over the next 24 hours, they compared it with known bear and human tracks, but concluded it did not closely match either. The footprint remains difficult to explain because of its size, shape, location, and nearby elk signs. However, only photos of the cast were released. Images of the original print could have shown its depth and more surrounding details. A cast preserves the shape, but the untouched print may hold additional clues. Was this evidence of an unknown creature, or is there a simpler explanation? Moving on from the reported Bigfoot body evidence, this newly posted clip shows another unusual sighting. The video was uploaded on July 8, 2026. A family was driving along a heavily wooded road when the children suddenly noticed something they could not explain. Their frightened reaction caused the driver to turn the vehicle around and return to the same location.
He's moving. See that? Near that tree?
Oh, there's across the road. Where's it?
As the family drove back down the road, the parents remained calm and did not expect to see anything unusual. Then, through a gap between the trees, a dark figure briefly came into view. The figure appeared tall, upright, and human-like, giving it the general shape often associated with Bigfoot. However, the sighting lasted only a moment, making it difficult to examine. Some viewers suggested the object could have been a statue placed beside the road to frighten passing drivers. That remains possible, but slowed footage appears to show movement. One arm seems to lower slightly as the vehicle passes. If genuine, that would weaken the statue theory. The clip quickly went viral, reaching about 18.5 million views. Many viewers remain skeptical because the figure is visible only briefly. Others believe the children's reactions sound genuine, and that the figure looks surprisingly lifelike. For now, the encounter remains unexplained unless more evidence emerges. A brief glimpse can easily fool the eye, but the possible arm movement makes this sighting harder to dismiss. Was it really moving, or did the camera angle create the illusion? This next case takes us back to Ohio, a state often linked to reported Bigfoot activity. The segment includes 2 separate pieces of evidence, thermal footage, and unusual vocalizations that some believe are connected to Sasquatch. The material was recently featured by Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, a group that investigates Bigfoot reports. It was submitted by Sean Gilligan and reportedly came from Bainbridge, Ohio.
Highland Bigfoot footage on thermal camera, purported near Bainbridge. Sean Gilligan writes RMSO. My friend sent me a thermal video his brother got a couple of weeks ago near.
According to the information provided, Gilligan received the thermal footage from a friend whose brother had recorded it a few weeks earlier. The video shows a distant upright figure with a human-like shape moving within the thermal camera's view. Nearby dogs appear disturbed and bark repeatedly while the figure remains in the area. Some viewers believe the shape looks too human and may simply be a person outside. Others think its size and appearance could match a Bigfoot-like creature, especially when considered alongside unusual sounds recorded at the same location. The enhanced audio contains long, deep howls lasting several minutes. The sounds are loud low, and unlike the calls normally heard from animals in Ohio forests. At several points, coyotes can also be heard howling and barking in response. Their reactions suggest the sounds were happening nearby when the recording was made rather than being added later. Something clearly produced the calls, but its identity remains unknown. Some believe the thermal figure and vocalizations strengthen claims that unknown creatures may be moving through Bainbridge. Ohio has become one of the most discussed locations for recent Bigfoot reports, with new footage and recordings continuing to surface. Thermal cameras can hide important details, while distant animal calls may sound unfamiliar. Do these recordings support each other, or are they simply separate events with ordinary explanations? On July 3, 2026, unusually clear trail camera photos were released, reportedly showing a Bigfoot-like creature in remote southwestern Washington state. The high-quality trail camera captured two images of the same figure. Its face appears neither fully human nor completely ape-like, and it also differs from many familiar descriptions of Bigfoot. In the first image, the creature stands slightly farther away, with its head lowered and turned from the camera, as though unaware of the device. The second photo shows it staring directly into the lens, revealing a much clearer view of its features. It has small human-like eyes, a large nose, straight lips, lighter rough skin, and thick, coarse hair framing the face like a mane. The combination of features gives the figure a strange appearance, almost blending an ape, a lion, and a human. Its expression also appears wild and predatory. Washington State is one of the best-known locations linked to Bigfoot reports. Many sightings have come from the Cascade Mountains, the Olympic Peninsula, and the dense forests surrounding Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. Its vast wilderness has long fueled the idea that an unknown animal could remain hidden there. The photos reveal unusual details, but they still don't confirm what the creature is. Do they show something unknown, or is there another explanation for its unusual face? A quiet pasture in Florida suddenly becomes the setting for a strange encounter. A large dark figure races across the open field on two legs before disappearing into the nearby woods. A short video shared on the YouTube channel The Shell Smith was recorded in Jefferson County, Florida. The footage opens on a dirt road with a teal pickup truck parked on the left and a red SUV on the right. The area is surrounded by green trees, a fence, and a wide open pasture. The camera suddenly turns toward the field beyond the red SUV. In the distance, a large, dark figure can be seen moving rapidly across the grass. The figure runs upright on two legs with long, powerful strides. It crosses the open pasture before vanishing into the tree line. Distance can conceal important details and make a person or animal appear unfamiliar. What do you think was running across that field? The group entered the dark forest, expecting to search for Sasquatch. But just beyond the reach of their lights, something large seemed to be watching them. What followed became one of their most unsettling investigations.
Look, see that tree there? No, all that's engineered. We've been looking at that. You heard that.
Without warning, the silence of the forest was shattered. The investigators heard movement behind them close enough to make their voices tense and uncertain. Something appeared to be moving through the trees only a few steps away. Before they could identify it, a heavy object seemed to hit the ground nearby, leaving the group frozen between fear and confusion.
Oh, there's something over there. Behind, so it'd be to y'all's right, behind y'all. What is that? I don't know. It sounds like a mix of different things. Something just landed.
Moments later, a massive shape blocked the light ahead. Because the ground sloped downward, the figure appeared near head level, making it seem unusually tall and alarmingly close. More movement followed deeper in the forest. Heavy, steady footsteps echoed through the darkness as though something was calmly walking nearby. The group listened carefully and became convinced the sounds were real.
Right in here, Tate, in that area of the forest, something just moved right to left in front of me. The whole forest blocked out the light, the moonlight, everything. You know, we're going downhill.
Yeah.
So whatever blocked it out is head level with me. So it's got to be 8-9 feet tall.
Later, they discovered pine cones arranged in a precise pattern around a central point. The formation appeared too organized to have formed naturally, and one investigator believed it had been deliberately created by someone or something. Darkness and uneven terrain can distort size and distance, especially under limited moonlight. But who arranged the pine cones and what was moving around the group that night? On July 10th, 2025, the YouTube channel Northwest Wind uploaded a video documenting a camping trip deep inside an isolated Pennsylvania state forest. After spending 3 days in extreme heat, the creator described the experience with both humor and genuine curiosity.
Bigfoot zone in Pennsylvania right now, and tonight we are going to try and summon Bigfoot to this campsite. So it's the last night of my trip at this lovely campsite. I've been out here for 3 days. Very moist, tired, flummoxed, very, very isolated, but also a very, very big draw. If you're looking for Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, there's a very big concentration of those in this area. I'm out in Pennsylvania all the time. I've only had one encounter in Pennsylvania where I was not sure what I had encountered. It was a noise that I could not explain that sounded very ape-like, like but also from far enough away that I had no semblance of really what it was from the top of a ridge in a steep river valley, kind of like one I'm in now.
The trip was partly inspired by Bigfoot folklore. Although the host was unsure whether the creature truly exists, he believed it was possible because large areas of north-central Pennsylvania have never been fully explored. He chose a secluded campsite at the end of a dead-end road within a 145,000-acre state forest.
Do a little tour of the campsite. It's literally been 92 degrees for the past 3 days out here, so very hard to sleep, very moist. Luckily, I have my USB fan. Last night was absolutely miserable, so it is what it is. I got one more night. We're going to fish again tomorrow and then go home and hopefully hang out with Bigfoot for a few minutes. Got a nice campsite here. We are at the end of this road. The road dead ends right there. We are in a state forest, and I have the truck with me. So I'm asking all of you, I don't know if I believe cold-hearted truth, fact, 100% in Bigfoot or Sasquatch or some kind of bipedal figure that lives in small populations in desolate rural areas. I see it as being very plausible or possible. There's a lot of videos that you could tell are fake. There's a lot of videos and photos that are questionable, and there's a lot that are like, is that real? We haven't explored every square foot of even Pennsylvania, for example, where I am right now. So could it be out there?
The surrounding region was also known for numerous reported Sasquatch sightings. To increase the chances of attracting something, the host placed an apple high on a tree branch and left half of a hot dog nearby. These food offerings are commonly used by people searching for unknown creatures in the wilderness.
And apparently Bigfoot are very much communicative creatures, so they say. I've heard some things that resemble wood knocks before, but never really attributed them to Bigfoot. So we're gonna knock on these trees a couple times and see if we get a response. I know this might be a goofy video idea. I know I'm a goofy person, but we're gonna clack some rocks together, and we're also gonna do some whoops. I'm gonna do my own best version. Whoop! Whoop!
Throughout the night, he tried several methods to provoke a response. He struck rocks together, knocked on trees, and made traditional whooping calls. Much of the investigation remained lighthearted, but the atmosphere changed during the early morning hours.
Something just startled me up. I don't know what it was that woke me, but I was having deep, vivid dreams, and all of a sudden I was just wide awake, and I heard something I want to say sounded like wood knocks, very close, maybe a couple 100 yards up the hill. I thought I heard it once, then I heard it again. Go back and watch my wood knocking, that's what it sounded like intentional wood knocking sounds. I haven't heard it since, but it's 100% what it sounded like. Just before 5 a.m., I did wake up to pee a few times and heard those knocks. I don't know if it was just a growl of something, but something made a noise. But nothing that felt anything close to like, it was like but it was like not. It's about 5:30. Light enough out right now where I'm just going to get up, bite the bullet.
At around 5 a.m., after a restless night of sleep, the host suddenly awoke to 2 sharp wood knocks. The sound seemed clear and deliberate, following the same rhythm he had used earlier that evening. The moment was not captured on camera, and the knocking never continued. Even so, the experience made the campsite feel much more unsettling as sunrise approached.
They're gone. They're both gone. The apple was up there. The hot dog was right here. That gives me the creeps, big time. It's daybreak, and I have more creeps than I did at any point during both of these nights I was out here. Let me see if the apple's down in these bushes or if something, maybe it fell, maybe something tried to take it and it went down, but so let's be realistic here. Odds are it was a squirrel or a raccoon or something that could easily climb the tree and took the hot dog or the apple off the branch. But just knowing that they were there, I mean, you see how far behind me I was camped, 150 feet, give or take. They were there and now they're not. I was convinced that they would still be there.
When daylight arrived, both the apple and the hot dog were gone. Wildlife was the most likely explanation, but the food had disappeared without waking him, adding another layer to the mystery. The host admitted that finding the empty spots in daylight made him feel more uneasy than anything that had happened during the night. No creature was seen and nothing paranormal was confirmed. Raccoons and squirrels can quietly remove food, while echoes may cause distant knocks to sound much closer than they really are. But did ordinary wildlife explain every strange detail, or did something else visit the campsite before sunrise? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.